Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Chad Kunst. I'm the founder and owner of Pr1me Movement. In this episode number 7, we're going to discuss why you need to continue to squat, deadlift, and press after the age of 50. So a lot of you may know some friends, some family members, or someone who was told by their physician or by their doctor, by someone, that they should not continue to squat, deadlift, or press, whether that's do a bench press or press overhead after the age of 50. They might have been told that you're just too old, that your joints can't handle it, you've developed some moderate to mild, or maybe even to some severe arthritis, and those movements would only make it worse. Now granted, there are always exceptions. Never say never, be careful with absolutes. So we're gonna kind of keep that in the back of our mind. However, the reason I feel that I need to sit on this stage right now to discuss this hot topic is because in my clinical and anecdotal experience, more often than not, people are told to not do these things for unjustified reasons. A justified reason to me is a lot more than just an X-ray or just an MRI. In fact, to me, someone should have had a full hour or two with a specialist, with a movement expert, with someone who will take the time to provide a very thorough subjective history, very thorough, and has been able to biomechanically assess, analyze, and examine someone to create a hypothesis of what's going on. And then that person should attempt at least 30 days of really good conservative care. And what conservative care just means is that you're seeing a specialist 1 to 2 times a week, you're taking it very seriously, and you're working with the best to determine to what extent it is feasible and reasonable for you to get back to doing those 3 motions, okay? Only then, after you've attempted and you've gone through that whole process, may you have to modify one of those 3 movements: squatting, deadlifting, and pressing. The reason I'm so persistent that people need to continue to find a way to find someone that can help them do those things is because you have to do those things in everyday life. You can't get away from it. Let me just tell you, so part of the why I'm so devoted to telling people about this information is because I too was kind of caught in this web of healthcare. I actually had hip surgery in my young 20s, okay? I was told to never squat below 60 degrees again. Do you know what I'm doing right now? I'm sitting in a chair. Do you know how much degrees of hip flexion I need to get into that? About 90. So does that mean I'm never supposed to sit again? Okay, so you too, or some friends or family members, if you've seen a doctor and have had surgery, I bet you can remember exactly what they said, even if it's 20 years ago. And you might still be abiding by that because there's a lot of trust and fear there. Fear that you don't want to make anything worse. That's why you need to work with a specialist to help you build confidence and trust with movement again in those 3 things to find your variation of it. Squatting in general doesn't mean you have to go ass to grass and lift 315 pounds. Squatting for you might be that you can remain independent in your household and that you can squat onto a chair safely. You're still squatting. Do you ever have to pick up heavy groceries from the ground? Let's say you avoided deadlifting all your life. Now you're 80, you're independent, right? You're starting to lose that, and you've got some heavy, you have some heavy glasses of water, you have some heavy bottles of water, you have a heavy milk jug on the ground, and you need to pick that up. Are you deadlifting that? Technically, yes. So you have to deadlift that. At one way or another, these concepts will catch up with you. What about you've avoided pressing overhead all your life because your doctor told you that that was bad for you, bad for your shoulders, you shouldn't be doing it. So now you're limited in range of motion, you're nervous about doing it, and yet your favorite dish is up above your head and you need to get that, but you've neglected this all your life, you're 75, but you need to go get that dish. Are you gonna be able to do that? Maybe, maybe not, because you've neglected it all your life. The biggest point I'm trying to make here is that deadlifting, pressing, whether it's overhead or bench pressing or squatting, these are all everyday movements, or could be everyday movements, or should be everyday movements. You can't run away from these forever. They will catch up with you. If you deviate, modify, or compensate, most often it's going to make it worse. So if you've been neglecting these movements because your doctor told you to, and even if you've tried several rounds of care to help you do that, find the right person that's willing to sit down with you, go through a very thorough subjective history, go through a very thorough biomechanical analysis, and find what your maximal level is to start the process of doing that, and what your potential maximal level would be down the road. So after, I'm gonna say, years of a pertinent and specific training regimen, let's find your maximal level that's pain-free and we know that we're not hurting anything, okay? All too often, people get told that they're just too old and they shouldn't be doing that anymore. Well, guess what? At some point, you're gonna have to do that. Because guess what? We're all getting older. We can't stop time. We wanna be independent. We want to do whatever we want. We're 75 or 80 years old. We wanna pick up our grandchildren, raise them overhead. Well, did I just shoulder press that grandchild? You bet I did. So start now so that you don't get backed up too much down the road where you're not able to come back and do it proficiently, safely, with no pain. All right, guys, hot topic. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to email me at chadk@pr1memovement.com. I'd love to have more of this conversation with you guys. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in to Prime Time.